everyone and welcome to today's video. It is Halloween season, which means I'm doing 3 different looks for you. I'm doing one casual makeup look where you kind of have to know what it is to know it's a Halloween look. I'm then also doing one that's more rigged for like a Halloween party if you just want to do some fun makeup. And then we have today's video where I show you how to do some easy SFX with stuff you already have at home. And what I'm going to show you how to do today is like a scratch or a scuff as if you hit some pavement. So let's get started with some primer. I'm going to put it all over my face, even though I'm not going to wear foundation all over my face. The reason being, the look is going to look a lot more natural on some bare skin because I want to add some like irritation and stuff like that. And obviously if you're wearing foundation, you wouldn't be seeing that. So I'm just going to do some spot concealing and brighten up around my eyes. Every time I do a Halloween look, my makeup ends up all over the place and it's such a mess to clean up afterwards. So I'm gonna try and pack the stuff back as I go today. But we've just started and it's already a mission. Whatever is left from my beauty blender after blending around my eyes, I'm just gonna drag it down to my nose just to get rid of like the redness around your nose. Now I'm gonna set all that with some powder. Now it goes without saying that you can do this part however you want to. I'm just doing some really casual makeup to look like I was out, but I'm doing it before I do the SFX so that it does go over it. For the look to look realistic, it needs to look the way it would have looked if this actually happened. For example, if you wanted to do some blood splatter on your face and you wanted to cover some of your eye, it's gonna look really funny if you have the blood splatter and then you draw your eyeliner on top of that, as opposed to doing your eyeliner first and then getting the splatter over it. So that's why I'm doing all my quote-unquote regular makeup first. Now I'm putting on highlighter pretty much everywhere, but because I know I want to scuff up this cheek, I'm not really going to put it here because the scuff is going to be here. Now the only part of my makeup I haven't done is my mascara, and that's fine. I can do that at the end. And that's because I'm going to use some of the mascara to make it look like I've been crying. Because falling down hurts. It like actually does. Oh my gosh, I fell from like table height earlier this year. I was standing on a stool to read something that then broke and I was sore for days. Falling is for kids. Anyway, she's cute, she's doe-eyed, that is kind of what we were going for. So now we can get started. So first I'm going to take a big fluffy brush like this and I'm going to pick up a very light contour shade like this one. And I'm just going to use it to mark out where everything's gonna go. This is light enough that while I'll be able to see it, I can blend it out if I end up changing my mind. But what I'm thinking for now is you fell on your face. So anywhere my hand touches when I do this is kind of where I wanted to scuff. So I definitely hit my cheek here. I hit the side of my nose and then I hit the top here. So I think this part it's gonna connect to this part, like so. You're not going to hit your eye, thank heavens. I'm kind of happy with that placement, so I'm gonna darken it up a little bit just to make it look dirty. Because if you hit the floor, you're not gonna be clean. I do want this to be a bit of an ashy brown, so I'm mixing in like a touch of black and gray as well. And I am blending it a little bit. Next, I'm gonna go with a brownish red like this one, pick it up on the same brush. And I'm gonna go on the same areas, but I'm not gonna go past the brown. This is to start layering the irritation. And the irritation's only really gonna be where you got hurt. Now I'm also adding a bit of a brighter red color and like a touch of purple, just a little bit, to kind of indicate like a bit of bruising. If we're doing bruising, you might just well add a little bit of blue. Blue definitely adds dimension. You see how it's suddenly making it deeper. As I'm layering more colors, I'm being like less precise where I'm putting everything. First, I had the brown kind of everywhere and I made sure that was blended out properly, but everything else I'm kind of just like spotting on because a bruise isn't going to develop perfectly uniform. So to add to that, I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush and blend it out a bit rougher. I'm layering on a bit of a brighter red now and I'm kind of just scribbling it on. Same again with the purple and same again with a blue. Now normally if I'm doing a bruise, I'd also do some greens and yellows, but that kind of indicates that it's starting to heal and this is still developing. So I'm gonna avoid those and I'm gonna stick more to the brighter reds and oranges. And you can mix in a bit of like neon pink, like a bright baby pink. I know it feels wrong, but it does brighten up your red quite a bit and makes it look more lively if your red is a little bit too ashy, because a lot of makeup palettes don't really have a bright red in it. To further fine tune the details, I'm going to take a flat shader brush and I'm going to go between red and orange and drag it on kind of in lines because I'm planning on being scratched like this. So I'm going to draw the colors on in the direction of the scratch. It's also kind of going to smear everything else you're doing and it'll just add the like sense of movement. But try and get this to be in a straight line because you're not going to fall and twist. I feel like mine is a little twisted right now. Try and get these lines up here to match these lines down here. Kind of look like I just have frostbite. I'm going to take this nude brown toned lip liner I used for my lips, and I'm going to use it to draw some lines roughly as well. Not too much, but it's just going to give some finer detail. I'm going to drag it from the corner of my eye down in longer lines. You don't want short lines. You should vary the length of them, but try and avoid like stippling it. I'm going to do the same with a nude eyeliner pencil. Because you want light and dark colors, that is what adds dimension. You don't just want reds. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it with any color, but the mix is what sells it. I'm doing the same with black, but very, very lightly. I don't want distinct black lines everywhere. This just helps make it look more messy. And lastly, some red lip liner. Again, not too much. And I'm going to touch and drag lightly over everything with my hand just to blend it in a little bit so that everything is cohesive. So far so good. You can stop here if you want to, but of course we're going to take it a step further. And for that I'm going to use a tiny little lash glue that comes with my lashes. You'd be surprised how much you can get done with these little lash glues. I'm going to stripe it on my face, similar to how I drew all the other lines at the bottom and at the top, but I'm going to try and avoid my eyebrows just because I don't want this in my eyebrows. Now I'm going to give it a second to dry until it gets all sticky. I'm going to go in with a bit more in precise lines. This is going to add some, well, I don't want to say dimension for everything, but dimension. It's adding some texture. The first layer just kind of added irregularities, and this is now going to add kind of bumps. Now for the next part, before this fully dries, I'm going to take a big fluffy blending brush and I'm going to load it up with the like red color that I want to use. And I want there to be way too much on the brush so that I can kind of tap it on very lightly. And it's only gonna stick right where the eyelash glue is still wet. And I'm doing the exact same thing with brown. I'm very lightly sweeping it in the direction of the like swipes and just putting it on. And if you feel this become too uniform, just like stick to your face with that lash glue, drag a little bit with a brush just to mess it up. That's a nice thing about the lash glue. It kind of like lifts if you do catch it like that, and it makes it look all messy. And it's letting your skin peek through, which is kind of realistic. You can do this with your hands, but I kind of like doing it with the back of a brush because it kind of sticks to the material of the back of the brush pretty well, and then your hands don't get all tacky and uncomfortable. The part that's going to wrap up first is like the second layer that you put on. So if you created nice stripes with that, it's going to produce like nice stripes in the way it lifts. Now we can look at the whole thing and see how we feel about it because we're practically done. So I'm going to take a little bit of red and add more irritation around here. I don't think it looks irritated enough. So for that, I'm going to take a bright red and blend it around the edges. It's a good place to add some oranges to fade that red into the rest of your skin. And don't forget about up here. You might not be getting scratches in your eye area, but you are going to get the like irritation going up here. So do wrap it around the top. See how this looks a lot more inflamed now than the one at the top. So again, I'm circling the immediate area with a bright red and a little bit of that pink mixed in. And then I'm going to go around that with some orange. And here I'm going to drag it a bit under my brow because like we said, the irritation spreads. Now, if you want a clean look, you can touch, you can stop here. But if you want to get a little bit messy, we're going to go a bit further. And that's because I want to add some fake blood to it. So for that, I'm going to use a red lip liner or red lipstick, whatever you have. I'm going to draw mine on the back of my hand to get like a little sample down. I'm then going to take my clear lip gloss and mix it with that. And this will get it gooey and slimy and liquid so that I can apply it to my face. Now this is a touch too bright, so I'm going to put a little bit of brown lipstick in there as well. And then I'm going to take my foundation brush and mix all of this together on my brush. You're probably going to want to wash your brush after this. Now the thing is, you do want to mix the colors, but you don't want it to absorb too much into the brush because then it's not going to give off. But then I'm just going to stipple it on. That isn't really working as much as I wanted to. I can always make fake blood. That is an option, but I don't really want to. So instead, I'm just going to go in with my red lip liner again, adding some of that fresh red in again, mixing in some of that nude or white colored eyeliner again. It's a lot of back and forth just to get the color dimension you're looking for. And then top it off with some clear gloss to make it look like a fresh bruise. So for this, I'm also just kind of streaking it on irregularly, so that the whole area doesn't catch light. Just certain parts that then like suggests that there's open areas. So now to wrap the whole thing up to make it look like you are upset and that this hurt, I'm gonna make it look like I was crying. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the red that I was using and I'm gonna put it underneath my eyes. And here we're really going for like subtle, so you're not putting on a lot and you are blending it out down. The best way to make it look like the color speaking through your skin is adding a skin tone color on top of it. So that's what I'm doing as well. I was gonna put some red in my lower lash line to really sell the crying look. Now think about what you look like when you're crying. Do you get red around your nose? Because then add a little bit of red back, even though we cleaned that up earlier. And now it's finally time for mascara. Just gonna put it on normally on my lashes. Now I'm gonna load it up on my lower lashes and intentionally press down to make it look like I've been crying my mascara off. So again, I am putting mascara on my lower lashes quite a bit and then pressing down onto my under eye. You can also take your hands and give it a little touch to smear it a little down. And then remember to give that a second to dry. I like forgetting that part. And then going in with a gloss to make it look wet, like you are in fact crying. Don't drag too much over the mascara because you're gonna smudge it then. And the last thing you can do if you feel like something isn't right is touch your face the way you would if this just happened. Imagine you just hit the floor, you're getting up, you're feeling your face, or you're gonna rub at your eyes maybe, or you're gonna try and wipe the tears, because doing what you normally would have done would make it look like it actually happened. So if you're crying and you're gonna like rub at it like that and give it a smear, I'm gonna pretend I rubbed at my eyes even though I'm wearing makeup, as if I forgot, because I'm crying, just to like mess up the eyeliner a little bit, make it look a little less perfect. Also would like rub with my arm, but like this lipstick isn't really smudging, so that's fine. So the last thing that's left is just to mess up my hair as if this actually happened. I'm going to like backcomb my hair a little bit on this side where I hit the pavement, just kind of getting it to look rougher. And then I'm kind of gonna push the hair just back as if I was trying to like get it out of my face, but without like making it too neat by going back. I like having that like one piece of hair that's just like not behaving. I'm gonna make the tears go down a little further on this side. But then this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making this look. I'm off to try and take some like fancy pictures of this because you don't really show people the video of your looks, you kind of show people the pictures. Now for when you're taking pictures, it's the mannerisms that are really gonna sell the look. So I am going to fake cry really hard to make it look like this really hurts and I don't know what just happened and I'm in shock. And then this is how the pictures turned out. This is the vibe I was going for. I contemplated lying down the ground and looking like I just got up from falling, but let's not scare the neighbors, let's stay inside. But then this is it for today. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed the process, and I look forward to seeing you again next time with our last look for the season. Bye. There's a fly here. Go out. Go. Bye-bye.